This episode is brought to you by FX's The Veil, starring Elizabeth Moss. FX's The Veil is an international spy thriller that follows two women as they play a deadly game of truth and lies on the road from Istanbul to Paris and London. One woman has a secret, and the other has a mission to reveal it before thousands of lives are lost. FX's The Veil premieres April 30th, only on Hulu.
If you've lived here for any amount of time, you've been subjected to the never-ending potato jokes, quips, and puns. But are these famous potatoes actually worth the hype? Today on CityCast Boise, Katie Williams is going to guide us through the Boise Potato Trail with classic and surprising ways to enjoy Idaho's official state vegetable. It's Thursday, April 18th. I'm Lindsay Van Allen, and this is what Boise's talking about. So you're a travel and lifestyle digital creator, and your handle is Traveling Spud. And that really perfectly fits into today's episode. How did you come up with it?
So I grew up in Idaho, and then I moved to San Francisco, and that's kind of when I started to get my traveling feet, if you will, and I started my blog while I was living there. And it was kind of like a ode to Idaho, creating Traveling Spud. I missed it, but I wasn't living there. And I never honestly thought I would move back to Idaho. But I did after I traveled the world for 14 months. I moved back to Idaho, and now it works.
What brought you back?
You know, after I was traveling, I got really tired, and I didn't really feel like moving to a big city. I came back to live with my parents for a little while in Sun Valley, and I visited Boise, and I was shocked by how much I loved it here. I was just like, wow, things are happening. There's cool restaurants. There's a great outdoor scene. There's breweries and wineries popping up. It just was different from what I remembered. And I was like, I can see myself here. So here we are.
And that really is the perfect handle, even though you weren't living here at the time.
Thank you.
So, Katie, Idaho jokes are usually always associated with potatoes, but like you said, you've also traveled all over and tried potato dishes around the country and even internationally. Now we're going to be treading on some dangerous and controversial territory. And I need you to be honest. We need to know, does Idaho actually have the best potatoes?
Yes, that is me being completely honest. We do. We have the best fries. We have the best tater tots. We have the best spuds. I've traveled to Peru, for example. They have hundreds of varieties of potatoes. So in terms of varieties, I'd probably give that win to Peru. But Idaho just knows how to do it. I'm not kidding. Like, we know how to make them.
Wow, even compared to Peru, that's big.
I know. They have some really cool, like colorful ones and just, fancier styles. Ours are just the down-home spud, which I think you can't really beat it.
I would say it's comfortable. It's our comfort food.
It is. Yes.
So you collaborated with Visit Boise to promote the Potato Trail. Can you explain to us what this trail is?
Yes, it's really cool. So if you are visiting Idaho or you live here, or Boise, or you live here, you can actually go sign up on from their website. And it shows you all the different places in Boise that you can go visit and get specific spud dishes. And it's anywhere from potato beer, potato donuts, potato ice cream, all sorts of stuff. And you go around to these different locations, you check in on your phone at the location, and then it counts towards different prizes from the Idaho Potato Commission, which is pretty cool. So you get potato peelers or all different type of kind of potato themed prizes, but it's just a fun way to go see different places around town that serve potato dishes.
Were there any dishes on the potato trail that surprised you?
I would say the one that surprised me the most was probably Bear Island Brewing. They make a potato IPA, an Idaho potato IPA, the only potato IPA in the world, which I thought was so cool. And I'd never tried anything like it, and I really actually enjoyed it. And so if you want to try a potato beer, then I think that's a very unique one to go to Bear Island Brewing here in Boise.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I haven't tried that before, so I definitely will want to check that out. What was the most unique dish or food on the potato trail?
I would have to answer that with, well, technically this is not potato, but it's the potato ice cream from the West Side Drive-In. And this to me is something that I tell anyone that asks me what should I do when I'm in Idaho or even just visiting Boise, I tell them to go to West Side Drive-In because the ice cream potato is just iconic. It looks, people ask, is this potato ice cream? It's not, but it looks exactly like an Idaho baked potato. And I think that's really special and cool. Plus, it's really good. It's got like cocoa covered the outside. There's caramel in it. There's whipped cream. It's really yummy. There's nuts on it. If you haven't had it, definitely try it. That's definitely the most unique thing.
It's a can't miss.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so as the potato trail guide or expert, I want to know if for one day you were only allowed to have potato meals, where are you going and what are you eating for each of the main 3 meals? So breakfast, lunch, dinner.
I would definitely start at Goldie's. It's a breakfast place downtown Boise, and they have a whole huge selection of potato sides. So you're getting your eggs or your scramble or whatever it is, but then you can get a bunch of different choices for sides. So corned beef hash, red flannel hash, that's my favorite. It's potatoes, beets, and bacon. I just really love beets.
Oh, I love red flannel hash.
Yes, so good. And then there's one called the Peps, which is potatoes, cheese, peppers, onions, and then there's hash browns. You can get sweet potato hash browns as well. So it's just a whole choice of sides. So you can try a bunch of different types, which that's what I would do for breakfast. For lunch, there's a few things that I'd probably do. I would probably do the Basque market for patatas bravas or patata tortilla. They just have really cool different types. It's always kind of changing, but those are really 2 really yummy dishes. And that's over in the Basque district downtown Boise. I might do Madre, which is another option. They're in the Lusk district of Boise, kind of by BSU. And they have an Idaho spud and chorizo taco. So
Ooh.
That's another option for a fun little potato taco. And then for dinner, I love the Wilder. Like I'm obsessed with the Wilder. And so I would go there and I would order their fingerling potatoes because I have dreams about these fingerling potatoes and this like dill sauce that they use.
Ooh.
So good.
Okay, I've never had that. That is one hell of a recommendation. I'm going to have to try it. You're having dreams about it.
Yes. They also have a Gem State of Mind pizza. It's a potato pizza. But I prefer the Honey Badger, their pizza. It's not potato, sorry, but it's really good.
But
too.
it's good. Okay, but if you're getting the fingerling potatoes, you've got the potatoes for that meal. So
Exactly. Yes.
okay, so let's say you have a friend visiting and you really want to take them somewhere where they can have the real Boise potato experience. Where are you going? What spot feels the most Boise, and what would you suggest that they order?
That is a really good question. It's kind of hard because Boise's changed a lot throughout the years. Like I said before, West Side Drive-In, because they have the ice cream potato, but they have super spuds, so you can just order a classic Idaho baked potato. And then they have the work spud. There's baked potatoes with different toppings. They have tater tots, they have French fries, they have cheese fries, they have chili cheese fries. So like they have the smorgasbord of potato options, I would say, and it's just a cool drive-in vibe. There's 2 of them in Boise.
That is kind of a classic. Speaking of the classics, we've talked about a lot of different types of potato, but let's talk about the beloved French fry.
Yes.
Who do you think has the best French fries?
I think my favorite French fries are from Off-Broadway Deli. This is very niche.
Ooh.
They're just a small little place and you order up at the counter. They have sandwiches and stuff, but their fries are so good. I do think that Fancy Freeze has really good ones. Golden Wheel, again, West Side Drive-In, and Boise Fry Company.
Oh, yes.
They are known for their fries with the side of burger, which I think is kind of a fun novelty experience. And you can try all different types of sauces to dip in. So I'm a tot gal. So like I want the full tater tot.
Oh.
I love them.
I'm not a tot fan.
You're not?
I don't.
What do you like?
I really like just like the classic thinly sliced potato, just like just the classic fry. Occasionally, depending on what I'm eating, a home fry is good, but I can't. Maybe I had way too much like tater tot casserole growing up. I just can't get behind it.
That will do it. I don't think I would like I haven't had it really, but I don't think I would enjoy a tater tot casserole.
I'm
that
not
sounds
a fan.
Interesting. But that's a very Idaho thing for you to eat.
Yes.
I love that. But yes, I'm always dipping it in fry sauce. When I travel out of state or out of country and people just don't know what it is, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, it's so good. You guys, it ruins it. Just dipping it in ketchup or just dipping it in mayo? No. You got to mix it together and put a little pickle juice.
Do people dip their fries in mayo?
Yes, they do.
No.
You know, it's funny. When we were in New Zealand, they were doing that quite a bit. And then in Paris, that's a big thing, just dipping them in mayo only.
Oh, huh.
But you got to mix them together.
That kind of ruins Paris for me a little bit.
They have good fries too in Paris, but the frites.
Okay, but they're not doing the fry sauce. So sounds like we've got them beat.
Exactly, we do.
In all of your travels and foodie adventures, which potato-inspired item has surprised you the most? Doesn't necessarily have to be Boise or Treasure Valley centric, but what was the most surprising?
I think for me, trying poutine for the first time outside of the U.S., I went to Canada and I tried it and it was so good. I was actually called my dad and I'm like, Dad, we need to start a poutine food truck in Idaho. It's so good. So because I love cheese curds.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very odd concept though, because it's gravy on top of fries with cheese curds, but so delicious. And another thing that was in San Francisco that I thought, why don't we have this in Boise, was a little baked potato place. Like you just go in and all they serve was baked potatoes and you choose your toppings. And it was by my house. And I was like, I need to come back to Boise and create this. Why don't we have this? This is such a great place for tourists to come and try Idaho potatoes. So if anyone wants a business idea out there, that's one. You can make all these different toppings and like put chili on them or different things. So anyway, I would say those would be the top two that pop in my head.
I agree. I think it's really surprising we don't have just a baked potato place. I think that would be what I would think of if I was traveling to Boise or to Idaho.
Yeah. I think that potatoes kind of got a bad rap for a little while because people were thinking that they were really unhealthy and all of that. I don't know. I eat so many potatoes.
They're delicious.
Maybe they are, but they're so good.
So to finish out, I think everyone wants to know, what wins the distinction of Traveling Spud's #1 potato dish, and where can we all try it?
Okay, this is kind of probably funny, but I am obsessed with Pie Hole's potato bacon pizza. I crave it all the time. I love dipping it in their ranch. They have such good ranch too. That's probably my favorite, which is kind of funny because it's like, I don't know if $3 is for a slice, but I'd buy their huge, large pizza and my husband and I just have leftovers for days and it's so good. So that's my favorite, which may be weird, but.
Well, you heard it here first. If you're going to get Traveling Spud's #1 dish, it is the Pie Hole potato bacon pizza, but you got to get the ranch.
Yes, get the ranch to dip it in, for sure.
Thank you so much, Katie. It was so great talking potatoes with Traveling Spud.
Oh, thanks for having me.
That's all for today here on CityCast Boise. If you enjoyed the show, check out our Hey Boise newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with our Friday News Roundup. See you then.